Hello, our little spooks.
I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Lexi. Welcome to the Guarded by Demons podcast, where we discuss all things horror.
We hope you're ready because we have a lot of fun spooky.
Shit, you want to try it again?
No!
We just got here. It's fine.
I'm still tired.
Yeah, we had
melatonin didn't really work.
We had to take melatonin last night. It didn't work well.
But it's okay. It's all right.
Is that our night owls?
Shut the fuck up.
We are.
Oh my god.
You want to start over or are we keeping this in?
No, we're keeping it in. I don't care.
Okay.
So today we're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite horror games.
H2O has nothing to do with this, Robin.
Clearly, you already heard them. We have a guest with us today.
Hello, I'm Asia. I'm back and oh my god. My voice sounds a little different because I got the Rona. She finally got me after a couple years.
Oh my god. After like what, 3 years ago?
Almost.
Yeah, 3 years.
God.
I remember I thought it was safe after like 2 years, but no, I got it before I moved here.
Yeah, and I had to push a month back.
Yeah, because I don't want to risk that.
I got so sad.
Yeah.
But you came here 3 days
finally
before my
found me.
birthday.
Oh my god.
Or not. I was supposed to go to Disneyland on Wednesday.
No! Ah,
You gotta push that back now.
god damn.
Damn it, that sucks, bro.
Yeah, because I've never been to Disney during Halloween time, so I was so excited.
No, it's okay. You still got a little time.
I know. I'm trying to get better just so I could get back to Disney.
You're just gonna will yourself better.
Literally.
Well, I mean, you're like vaccinated and everything, right?
Yeah, but I'm
The
not.
most it should take is like at least a week or 2.
Yeah, hopefully.
Watch a squirrel fall out of a tree. I'm so sorry. That's why there's fucking the squirrels chasing each other. Holy shit! They're fucking.
I was like, what the fuck are you looking at? The window.
Yeah. What do you mean? There's a big ass window right in front of us, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I always pictured y'all in a dark room.
I mean, that's not too far off. Just not today.
Yeah, it's not too far off. We're like in a brightly lit living room now.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Oh shit. Okay, moving on. I'm getting distracted. I need Adderall.
Oh my god. Talk to Adam about that.
Adam, can I have some Adderall? Send some to me, please. I swear to God, I have ADHD. I'm not diagnosed. It's bugging the hell out of me.
It's all right. All right, Asia, do you want to go first?
No, y'all go first so I know what structure to follow.
Okay, we can just do one at a time and go around.
Sure.
I'll go first. My number 5 spot for top 5 favorite horror games is actually a pretty old game at this point. I remember it mostly from YouTube. Thanks, Mark. Good old Markiplier. He played this like 9 years ago. The Crooked Man. Which is a little pixelated RPG.
That made me cry.
It made me cry too. It was one of the first horror games that ever made me cry. That's why I put it on here. It was memorable for me. So basically the synopsis is, The Crooked Man is a game about a man named David Hoover, a troubled single man who just bought a new apartment with the help of his 2 friends, Paul and Marion. Soon he realizes that there may be something wrong with the place. It seems somehow haunted. Not long after he finds a letter, and another. Soon he follows a trail of notes, which lead him to abandoned areas in town. Along the way, he meets a variety of people who each have their own problems, all similar to David's. And at each stop, he sees one familiar face, a man with an impossibly bent neck. Between avoiding him and solving many riddles, you are sure to have a great time with The Crooked Man. This is one of my favorite games, as I stated before, because it's one of the first horror games that ever made me cry. It made me really sad at the end. And it led me to like other RPG type games, not horror necessarily. Like it led me to games like To the Moon and Mad Father and stuff like that. So this is a pretty solid staple for me in horror. I actually revisited it recently. It wasn't as sad as I remembered, but it was still really good. really solid. Also got really solid artwork too, because we've got some cutscenes with like the anime characters and stuff like that. Super good, super fun. Love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll go next. So one of my favorite horror games, I did not rank mine, I just wrote them down. But one of my favorite horror games of horror franchises is actually Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Resident Evil, or as it's known in Japan, is Biohazard. So in Resident Evil, you take your characters that are either in the Bravo team or the Stars team, usually in like the first 2 games. But you follow these set of characters that have to fight against like bioweapons, zombies, like zombified dogs, creatures, and anything. And they're trying to figure out what's causing this whole entire thing. And usually it's like a first-person shooter or it's a third person. And in one of the games you could do like co-op, where you could play with someone else, or you could play with AI. And I love this franchise a lot because it was one of the ones that like got me into horror as a kid, and it's one of the ones that like has a huge place in my heart because it's what I bond with one of my cousins. And it's one, like, this franchise brought back a lot of like horror into video games. It's super scary, even for like the older ones. They're still pretty scary. Even if you have like the upper like camera angles and stuff like that, where it's not as smooth as the newer ones are. But I love it because it gets your brain working, because you have to like solve these puzzles. You have to like watch what you have in your inventory. You have to watch your ammo and stuff like that. I love that about this series, and I love that it has like a darker aspect to everything. And it's known for having like the most dumbest like character lines ever in a video game.
Jill sandwich.
Yeah.
The Jill sandwich thing.
Even like Leon's lines in Resident Evil 4.
And just the fact that Chris Redfield, not even like a line, he fucking punches a boulder.
Yeah. That running joke that like Chris punches a boulder.
That boulder punching asshole.
Yeah.
Did they actually call him that?
Yeah.
Heisenberg does in Resident Evil Village, yeah.
What
As a little nod.
I think it's so funny.
I pointed it out to you and you thought it was hilarious.
It is funny because a lot of the times, like, this series can make fun of itself.
Yeah, I love it when series do that. It's very fun.
But also, like, this series isn't just like video games. They've spawned off like movies, and it spawned off like comic books and stuff like that to continue its own like little storyline. And I like that. I like that you can have like anything that, whether if you can't play the games, you can read the books, and if you can't read the books, you can either play the games or watch the movies. And I think that's like the best thing, because there's something for everyone who wants to get into this franchise.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it.
It's good. It's good.
All right, that's it for mine.
All right. So I'm assuming that you said your least favorite game first. So,
I did.
Yeah, so least of the top 5, of course. So my number 5 is this game called Sally Face. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah. So it's an indie horror game by Portable Moose, and it follows a young boy named Sal, who they nickname Sally Face. And he's a teenage boy with a prosthetic face because he has like some really bad scarring due to this attack that I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, like he has like severe scarring from an attack from his childhood, so now he has to wear a prosthetic face. And I'm not gonna lie, I also confused Sally for a girl at first because like he wears blue pigtails. And his name is Sally.
I think everybody confused him for a girl at the beginning until they point out specifically that he's a boy. And we were like, oh, okay.
And then I was like, oh, hell yeah. You know, I love who is, comfortable with his masculinity and can wear things like pigtails and paint his nails and be fine with that. So he moves to this new apartment where there's like a lot of paranormal activity going on. So he, with the new friends he makes, like they're going around investigating it, and well, they find something much bigger than they anticipated, and that's as far as I'll say.
Yeah.
I have blue hair, and so and I often wear it in pigtails because like I have curly hair and I don't have like the motivation to take care of it or like comb it down and all that in the morning. And I'm like, every time I like have it in pigtails, I'm like, damn, I look like Sally Face right now.
Cute. Yeah, I have curly hair too. It's very difficult to take care of.
Yeah, especially like because I gotta wake up at 6 a.m. to go to work. So I'm like, I'm not about to go shower right now.
I'll shower later. It's fine.
Yeah.
With the frizz later.
Mm-hmm. Wait, that's not my number 5.
All right. My number 4. I did Among the Sleep.
Which... I've never heard of that one.
Oh, you haven't heard this one? Okay. Well, let me give you a synopsis. It's really good. In this game, the player plays as a 2-year-old named David. Funny enough, same as the Crooked Man. He played a guy named David, who is in search of his mother after she mysteriously goes missing. The player goes through various nightmarish worlds in order to collect heartfelt memories in hopes of returning to his mother. This game has various monsters throughout that chase the player and has an ending that sheds a new light on the events of the game. I definitely don't want to... This is a game I definitely don't want to spoil because by the end of it, you'll realize why you're going through these events and why they're so scary, especially like through a 2-year-old's eyes. But I highly recommend it. I think it's probably on Xbox and PS4, and I think it's also on Steam, and I think I saw it's on the Switch now as well, which is really cool. I do highly recommend it. You also you solve puzzles in this game, and when you're in dark areas, at the beginning of the game, you're gifted a teddy bear, and if you hug the teddy bear, he lights up, so you're not completely in the dark all the time, and he protects you. So I highly recommend it. It's a really good game. It's also sad.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. Okay, the next game that I have written down is Friday the 13th.
Hey.
And Friday the 13th is a co-op game that you play with either AIs or with your friends or just random groups that you find online. And it's basically a 4 versus 1. And someone has to play Jason and try to get each camper to either not leave the campgrounds by force or by killing each of them one by one. So you are hunting each counselor one by one. And each counselor does have like defense mechanisms, and each of them has their own like categories of what they are good in. Like one is good with mechanics, one is good with stealth, one is good with healing, and the other one is good with setting traps and stuff like that. So it's a thing where you all have to work together to try and get to safety out of this camp and survive the night. And what I love about it is that they actually got one of the actors who played Jason, which is Kane Hodder, to do the mocap for all of this.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And even though like this game is really janky and it has a lot of fucking bugs in it, it's still like really fun to watch people play or play yourself, even if it does have those flaws. And it's sad that like it never really got more of an update because of the whole like lawsuit that was going around with Friday the 13th with the ownership and stuff like that. But still, it's a really fun game to like get your friends together, get your family members together, and just have fun and mess around.
Kind of like a Phasmophobia kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Phasmophobia is also very fun to watch. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. I also think that one's a fun game to play. But it's also really fun when you look through like all the variants of like Jason. It's all of the ones that they've had in the movies, and
oh wow,
a lot of the ones that they have that they've made for like the video game. Like they have the 80s neon Jason from like the very first I think NES game that they had. Yeah, it's like God. It's neon, but it's like bright blue and purple and stuff like that.
Jesus,
bisexual.
We love to see it.
It's a good game. It's a good game for like pastime if you want to like just mess around and like fuck around with your friends, man. It's it's so fun. But again, even though it's like super janky and you can't really get a lot done anymore, because I'm pretty sure like the servers died.
No.
And I'm pretty sure they're not like doing anything with it anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, fuck, that sucks. But that does bring me into it though, that the people who did that game are also doing the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre game that's coming out next year.
Ooh.
And that's gonna be I think 3 versus 4, because you can play like most of the family in Texas Chainsaw, not just like Leatherface, but you can play his whole family with the survivors. And from what I've seen, it's like it's turning out like really good. Really, from like the reviews that I've seen, people are saying that it's really good and that it's really fun to play, especially as the family. Mostly as a family, apparently, from what I've been seeing. But yeah, that's it for me.
All right. So my number 4 is the one I briefly mentioned earlier. So if you want to look up this game, because if you try to buy it, it's probably like $1 gazillion, since it's banned everywhere except for like Japan.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so it's called Rule of Rose. So I strongly recommend looking up triggers for this because it has anything you could think of: animal abuse, child abuse, unaliving, gun violence.
Shit.
I can't think of. I know there's a lot more.
Rule of Rose,
bullying, fat phobia.
Shit, bro.
Yeah, it has everything. So like really, like look up trigger warnings if you want to look up this game. I since I first learned how to use the computer and like got onto YouTube and everything, I always loved watching game walkthroughs, and it was always horror games. All right. And so this is one I found a walkthrough of. So it's about this girl named Jennifer who is kind of reliving her trauma. She has been the sole survivor of like a Zeppelin crash. And then she was found by this man who had recently lost his son. So he adopted her, but kind of forced her to like play as his son. And then she gets found by this girl who like lives in an orphanage nearby, and she helps Jennifer escape that crazy man's like home. And so she goes into this orphanage. Long story short, a lot of jealousy, rivalry, all this stuff. The girl who had initially saved Jennifer eventually goes to get the man. Well, again, I don't want to spoil things, so I'm not going to say anything. But basically, she becomes the sole survivor again of a very tragic incident.
Shit.
And yeah, so it's just her reliving her trauma to finally like move on. And what I love about it is that since it is her childhood memories, a lot of it is like inspired by like fairy tales. So it's like dark fairy tales.
Kind of like a Grimm's fairy tale kind of thing.
Yeah, but like even more gruesome. I mean, speaking of H2O, there's a mermaid level.
Oh, fun.
There's a mermaid boss.
Yeah, I'm looking at this on Amazon. It's $974.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's really rare. Yeah, so it's really good. I feel hesitant to say that because of all the horrible things that happen in the game. But yeah, I really love it. I still think about it from time to time. Yeah, but again, I mean, there's even animal abuse in there, so like nobody's safe. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh my god,
we played Martha is Dead, and there's a bit of not even just like animal. It goes further than animal abuse.
Oh yeah, this game too.
I'm just like, oh, okay. Spoilers for Martha is Dead. The dog does not survive.
Yeah. So, what I will mention is that it has very similar vibes to like Haunting Grounds and Clock Tower, in the sense where like you have your main girl. These monsters come and try to attack her, and she has her animal companion or her dog, right? to like protect her, and he can retrieve things for you and things like that, and he's just there for emotional support.
Excuse me, hiccup a little bit.
No worries. All right, so that's my number 4.
All right, sweet. My number 3 is Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 1.
Nice.
Which, oh my god, this game is, I love it so much. So, for whatever reason, if you don't know, The Walking Dead Season 1 is, you play as a man named Lee, who at the beginning of the game is getting ready to go to prison because he killed the person that his wife was having an affair with. And it goes to shit real quick when the cop drives into a zombie because he's not paying attention. And basically you end up meeting this little girl named Clementine, and there's like 5 chapters. It goes by chapters. And you basically are trying to survive the apocalypse with this little 8-year-old girl. And basically the entirety of the story is just developing a relationship with this little girl who becomes a daughter to you, basically. And it's a very sweet story. It's bittersweet. It's sad. It's a really good. There's some funny moments in it too, but it's one of the first games that is like The Crooked Man. It's one of the first horror games that ever really made me cry. This one made me sob uncontrollably for an hour afterwards, and then I was really depressed for 3 days after. But it's a really, really good game. The first season is always my favorite for The Walking Dead. It always will be. I love it. It's so good.
That was a good one.
It was a great game. I miss Telltale. I'm sad that they got shut down.
Damn, dude.
I know. When are we going to get The Wolf Among Us 2, please? I'm begging you. Please.
That's one I've been meaning to watch the playthrough of The Wolf Among Us.
It's really good. If you like fairy tale stuff, you'll like that. You'll also get a really big crush on Bigby. Because I did. Whoops. But yeah, that's my number 3.
Amazing. Okay. I guess my number 3 is Until Dawn.
That's a good one.
Yeah, my number 3 is Until Dawn, and it is it plays out like a horror movie, and that's why I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And it is like a choose your own adventure type of thing where you have to make choices, and that usually consists of it being like life or death for your character or characters. And the way I can summarize this game is it's kind of like I Know What You Did Last Summer, where something tragic happens and then the whole group has to come back to the same place where that accident occurred, and one by one they're being picked off. And all
if
that
you don't
depends.
Do it correctly,
all that depends on your choices, whether or not these characters survive the night.
Fuck Emily.
Yeah, I always kill Emily.
I don't like her.
It's like the thing is, I make Emily survive up until that point where you're all downstairs in like the cave or whatever. In that one part.
Oh, you bang.
Yeah. You either have one of the other characters, Ashley, you shoot her, or
Mike.
Is it Mike?
It's Mike.
That was Ashley.
No, it's Mike. Ashley's egging him on to do it.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so either way, I always shoot her in that part because I don't like her.
It's satisfying.
It's very satisfying.
It's been a minute since I've watched that playthrough, so I don't remember who Emily is or what she did.
She's this snooty girl who's really mean to Jessica for some reason. Because Jessica used to date Mike the year before, and then I guess something happened. They're not friends anymore, and now Emily is with Matt, and Jessica's dating Mike.
Okay.
You'll know her when you see her. She's got bitch written on her forehead, basically.
Oh my god. But yeah, I like that game not just because it plays out like a slasher movie, but because like the very first time you play it, you don't see the other thing that happens in the game coming. Like it's just like you thought it was going to be.
You thought it was going to be one thing. It's another thing.
Yeah, it's a completely other thing towards the end. But I like it because It's like genuinely scary the very first time you play it.
Yeah. Oh, it's so tense.
Yeah. I always hate QTEs though because like they're so small on the screen I can't see them. That's the only reason why I don't like those.
Also, if you fucking shake, you're fucked. Depending on where you are in the game, you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Guess I'll die.
I don't know. My thing, I just leave it on the floor and it doesn't really do anything. So
That's fair.
That's how I do that.
To be fair, I've never actually played it. I've watched, several people play it though.
Amazing. But yeah, that's my number 3.
All right. So it turns out I can't count. I wrote 6.
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay.
We can have a bonus one for funsies.
Because since I was going backwards, I mentioned my number 6 most favorite game.
Oh, it's okay.
All right. So hold on. My 3rd, yeah, or I guess 4th. My actual 4th one now. It's a series. I decided to just combine the series. Is BioShock.
Ooh,
Have y'all?
BioShock's a good one.
Yes, I love BioShock.
I need to.
Numbers 1 through 3. So basically, it's like a steampunk underwater first person type. So I actually have really bad motion sickness, and first person makes me want to throw up after a while.
That's fair.
But I sat through hours of watching this playthrough because I just love this game so much. I'd be like on my bed, like dying, but I was like, I need to see how this ends, like So it's a trilogy game, and it's actually a critique on like capitalism and libertarianism.
We love to see it.
Yeah. So
question everything.
Yeah. The villain from the first game is called Andrew Ryan, and it's supposed to be kind of like a nod to Ayn Rand. It's kind of hard to say this name for me. Ayn Rand, who is very anti-communist and very pro-capitalism. And yeah, so he's the villain, right? And you're supposed to again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there are 3 different endings, and depending on the way you whether you choose to harvest these little girls for power or to save them, is how you get these 3 endings. So yeah, basically if you're all about community and like saving people, you get the good ending, and if you're all greedy and shit, then you get the bad ending.
I'm guessing there's a medium for that.
Yeah, and then there's kind of like a mediocre one, like whatever. I mean, you're kind of in the middle, but
yeah, you sometimes save them, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, but the middle ground is still like, oh, you're still kind of a piece of shit. Like, why are you like taking advantage of these like little girls, for your own gain? Yeah, and so the other 2 games in the series kind of do the similar thing. Like, are you gonna save these people or are you gonna use them to your advantage? But Infinite, the 3rd one in the series, introduces a lot of new like mechanics and things and everything, and it ties all 3 games in this, to me, a very mind-blowing like way. I was like in shock for days. I was like, I cannot believe, but but yeah,
it's always the best.
But yeah, BioShock was the first game walkthrough I ever watched on YouTube. So I was like a little child, like watching this shit. Like, I was like, ooh.
Is this the game where the whole "would you kindly" thing comes into play? Or am I? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I've seen that meme floating around a lot, and I'm like, I don't know what this means, but okay.
I've like forced so many of my friends to play or watch the walkthrough for this game because it's so good. I love it. I used to have a big BioShock poster in my dorm room in college.
Oh damn, that's a flex, bro. I've got posters all over my walls at home. But yeah.
That's my actual number 4?
Yeah, actual number 4. It's okay, we get a bonus one. It's okay. My number 2 is Resident Evil Village, actually.
Another Resident Evil.
Oh yeah. Again, if you guys somehow don't know, you're playing as Ethan. It's a direct sequel to Resident Evil Biohazard. And Ethan and Mia have had a daughter named Rose. Rose gets kidnapped basically to this village in Europe, in the European mountains. You've moved to Europe with your wife for safety reasons. And it's not really a spoiler because it's at the very beginning of the game. Your wife gets killed, basically. No. And they take Rose away from you. Surprisingly, she gets killed by Chris Redfield. They take Rose away, and then you're knocked out as Ethan. And then you wake up in the middle of the woods, all snowy and shit. And it's just before dawn, so your car that you were escorted in has been crashed, and you have to hike your way through the woods a little bit to this desolate village. Who all it's basically a cult who all praise this figure known as Mother Miranda, and your daughter's been kidnapped to be a sacrifice for Mother Miranda, basically. I'm not going to give too much away because that would be bad. I do highly recommend playing this. It's very fun. It's got really attractive antagonists. But I've played this game several times. Most of them have been speedruns because this game is very fun to speedrun. But it's genuinely got a really good story. The ending actually made me cry. It was really good. A lot of these games I definitely picked because they made me emotional in one way or another. But Resident Evil Village, it's really good. Also, the atmosphere is just good. The location is really nice. Love it. Definitely one of my favorite games. I'd say this one and number 1 are pretty close. I think Village made it to number 2 just by a margin because I love it so much. I actually brought it with me again so I could play it again while we're here so nobody can bother us. Because my cat's sitting right now. And that's my number 2.
Dude, Resident Evil Village didn't make me cry. It made me angry.
Made you angry?
Yeah, it made me angry because of fucking Mother Miranda.
Mother Miranda is attractive, but also she sucks.
Yeah. She's really fucking
Wait, that's the tall woman?
No, that's Lady Domitrescu.
Oh, no, she serves Mother Miranda.
Yeah, look up Mother Miranda. She's very pretty as well.
I will.
But Lady D, I'm weak for her. Also, Heisenberg has Nick Cage energy. There, I ruined it for you.
Dude, he fucking does. I think it's funny. Resident Evil 7 made me angry, and I'm so mad.
You mean 8?
This bald woman with no eyebrows?
Both, actually.
Oh, both made you angry?
Yeah, 7 and 8 made me angry. But mostly, like, 7 was really good. 7 was really scary. But the thing is, it's just the inventory thing. It's so small, and I couldn't see shit. So I gave up.
I love the inventory in 8. I got spoiled.
I gave up. And then the initial thing that got me angry and like in Village was like it just had to do with like Mother Miranda and like past stuff. And like I don't want to say it because people do listen to our thing, and I know some people have not played Village.
You should. So it's really good.
I'm not gonna do that, but still, I wish I got my reaction on fucking camera. I wish I was streaming that part.
Yeah.
I really do wish I was.
I wish I just filmed your reaction.
You're the one that told me not to stream it!
Am I?
Yeah!
Did I?
Yes, you did!
I really don't remember. I genuinely don't remember. But I believe you, I just don't remember. It's blurry.
I wish I streamed it because god damn it.
It was good though. I was expecting you to cry, and I'm surprised you didn't.
No.
But it's fine. It's a really, really good game though.
I mean, to be fair, I still got sad, but like I didn't get sad to the point I cried.
Oh, well, that's just because I'm a big fucking softie, and I'm like, this is sad.
I mean, it's just like that where one of my cousins told me to watch Angel Beats in front of him, and he was like, "Yeah, you're gonna cry a lot." I did not cry. I just felt sad.
But yeah,
I expected Mother Miranda to look a lot older.
No.
Because I'm like,
no.
Yeah, I'm like, because here, sorry, what's her name again? Lady
Domitrescu. You just call her Lady. You can just call her Lady D. Most people do.
Alright, Lady D. She looks older, and she's calling her Mother Miranda. So I thought she's gonna be like this, like old woman.
To be fair, Mother Miranda is technically older than Lady D.
Oh, she just got that skincare routine on lock.
Yeah. The thing is that I guess it's mild spoilers. Lady D, or not Lady D, Mother Miranda is just trying to find vessels to work for her, and Lady D was turned as a vessel when she was like 44 years old. Like you can find documents about her later on, and that's probably why she looks a little older, is because she was 44 years old when this all started for her. Yeah, but technically speaking, Mother Miranda is older than all of them. Yeah. She just looks younger because she's got infinite power.
Fuck on name, but okay.
But yeah, that's number 2 for me. Resident Evil Village.
All right. Oh my god. Okay, I guess number 2 for me is gonna be House of the Dead.
Ooh.
And House of the Dead is another one that came out while Capcom was doing Resident Evil. So they came out the same year. So that is also like 26 years old. God damn. I can't say anything. Yeah, I'm like, I can't say anything. I'm also 26 years old.
It's older than me.
But this game and Resident Evil both brought a lot of like popularized zombie games into pop culture again in the late 90s. And it has a similar premise where you have to go into like these mansions or these like facilities and fight these creatures, these zombies. And stuff like that with other teammates. Usually it's not really co-op unless you play it like on a PS4 or PS5 or anything like that. I know there's one that's getting like remastered soon.
Ooh.
But originally this game was an arcade game that you can play, you know, with like those toy guns that they had.
Mm.
And you could play that in the arcades, and then it switched to consoles later on. And it's a first-person shooter. And it also spawned like a sci-fi movie. I say sci-fi movie because it was on the Sci-Fi Channel when I watched it.
That makes sense. Valid.
It also spawned like a movie where it didn't really have to do anything with the games, but it had like segments of the game being in the movie, and I thought it was weird. I still think it's weird to this day, but it's one of the only ones that I find entertaining that you can just put on and not really care about it, you know? They could just have in the background. But this one game is just first person. There is no like other type of thing. The thing is, it is also known for its like weird dialogue too. So I always thought that was funny.
Classic Capcom.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's like my second favorite one, just because I really like zombies.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, and like my first thing was like, oh, this would be the one I'd go straight to, like in an arcade.
Yeah. They still have them in some arcades. Some arcades still have them. I think like in some places for like round 1 they have it. I've only seen it in I think like 2 or 3 of them though.
Is this the one where they have like the air shooting at you for those jump scares and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, then I'm sure I've played it before.
That's cool. I've actually never heard of that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they could do that with arcade games, with the air shooting at you. That's cool. I like that. Yeah. That would scare me even more.
More of an interactive play. And I always like that. I thought it was cool.
I always get grossed out because, you know, like the imagery is like vomit getting shot at you, and it's like, poof, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
I know.
I think I remember like they had it at Chuck E. Cheese once.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they had it at Chuck E. Cheese, but it wasn't like the more interactive ones. It was just a straight like shoot 'em game.
Yeah.
But like I remember that one was the one that I gravitated most to whenever I went. Whenever one of my aunts had a birthday party for one of my little cousins, that would be the one.
Yeah.
They were like, "Where's Kimberly? She's out playing a game."
I've never liked, you know, claw machines or anything like that. I always went straight to the shooting games. I love the Jurassic Park ones.
Same here.
Like, zombie ones.
Dude, I used to be so good at claw machines. That's why I had a shit ton of plushies in the shed. A lot of those were from claw machines because I was really good at them. I haven't played a claw machine in like 10 years.
I was never good at claw machines.
Whenever we come across a claw machine, I'll win you something.
Oh my god,
I'll do it.
You can pull like that. That will get you a lot of game. Be like, oh, I see you struggling there. Don't worry, I got you, sweetie. And then,
oh man,
you gotta do that, dude.
I did actually one time. That's funny you say that because
I was like, do that. I'll be your wing woman.
No, it actually wasn't. It actually was trying to be like a romantic thing. there was this little girl at a restaurant trying to get a certain plushie, and I tried to get it for her, but I couldn't because I've lost my touch. I felt really bad.
The mom looked at you like, "Get out of here."
Actually, they didn't know that I was getting it for her. I was trying to get it for her, and I couldn't do it. I felt really bad. I tried though.
Aw.
I tried for a good 15 minutes.
Dude, surprisingly, my dad was always good at that because they had a claw machine at the First Burgers. I was like down straight from where I lived, and my dad would always like be able to get a shit ton of fucking stuffed animals to the point where the owner was like, "You need to stop. You need to stop."
One game I used to actually be really good at, and this was like whenever the fair would come to town. It still comes to town, but I haven't been to the fair in like 10 years. Again, 10 years. Was the little fishbowl game. You toss a ping pong, you win a goldfish.
Yeah.
I used to be really good at that too. I think I won like 7 goldfish one time.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
It was really fun. But I always had like a little fish tank for them and everything, and they would last like a good year or two. So I feel like I would take pretty good care of them, even though they can last way longer than that if you have a good enough like setup. But we couldn't afford that good of a setup. But it's okay. I still took good care of them. I miss having fish. They're very nice to look at. They're very calming to look at.
Too much work, though.
Too much work. No, not really. Goldfish are pretty easy to take care of.
I mean, with the whole setup and everything.
Yeah. One day I'll have that set up, though, because I miss having fish. They're very fun. But anyway, we got off track. Let's move on.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just reminiscing from my childhood. It's okay. So good.
All right. My number 3, because again, I can't count. So
It's okay.
Little backstory on me. In addition to watching a bunch of horror game walkthroughs, excuse me, hold up. All right. I loved playing escape games on just on the internet, right? I would just always Google escape games. Mm-hmm. And I feel like escape games already have like kind of an eerie premise. Like, why do you need to escape? Who locked you in there? Like, what's going on? Right. So even like games like Escape the Kitchen, like even though it was like all colorful and like there's like poppy music playing, I'm just like, it still was kind of creepy because like you're by yourself and you have to escape. But this one in particular is called Daymare Town. It's by this artist called Matthew Skutnik. I'm not sure if I said that correctly. I'm assuming he's Russian based on the spelling of his name and everything. But it's kind of like this sketchy art style. It's black and white. And so you're like this, it's another series. I think there's like 3 or 4 games, where you're this like traveler who stumbles upon this weird town. There's people here and there, but like it's mostly abandoned. And you're just trying to get your way out of there. And in the final game, I'm going to spoil it because, you know, it's not really that big a deal, I think. Okay. Once you finally escape, like in the last game, you come across this other traveler and you're like, "Excuse me, is this Daymare Town?" And then the guy's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I don't know about any Daymare Town." And he's like, "Oh, thank God." And he just like finally gets out. But yeah, so it's like this really cool escape game. There's really cute characters here and there. Like you never really find out the mystery behind where you were or anything. But I like that it had like a story to it, because like other escape games were kind of just like, well, you're just trapped in a closet or you're trapped in a room. Or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not much to say on this one, but it is one of my favorite games of all time.
That's fair. Before I get into my number 1, I do want to give a quick honorable mention. I don't have it written down, but you said something about this being in that game being in black and white, and it just reminded me of oh, there's a dog. I'm so sorry. Someone's walking their joint right now. But you just remind me of a game called Never-Ending Nightmares. Which is basically, this is my honorable mention, which is basically this man created this game because it's his experience, his personal experience of going through his deep depression to the point where he was hallucinating and stuff like that. It's a very fascinating game. I think it's randomly generated. It's one of those randomly generated games, I'm pretty sure. It's really good. I highly recommend it. I don't know how to put up a synopsis for it because it's a somewhat confusing story. There are levels to it, but it's like it's like not a side scroller. It's kind of like in the same fashion of Fran Bow a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But it's in black and white, except for like certain things where it'll be bloody, and it's just the blood is the only thing with color. It's a really, really good game, and I highly recommend it. I can't believe I didn't even like think about it because it's a really good game. But with that being said, I am gonna move on to my number one spot. We all know it, we all love it. We're all sad that it got canceled. Probably angry like I was. PT.
Yep. Once you said that, I was like, oh. Is that one.
Silent Hills, PT. My favorite horror game. This was the one that almost got tied with Village. But I had to put it on here because it's genuinely one of my favorite horror games. The atmosphere is really good. The graphics still hold up. There's so much mystery to it. I love it. I'm sad that we didn't get any more from it. But as it is, I'm glad it's a thing. I'm sad we can't download it anymore because I would play it in a heartbeat. But it's a genuinely good game. It just turned 8 years old this year.
Oh shit. That's
7 or 8, something like that. Yeah. I think it's 8 now because I think it came out in 2014. It came out in August of 2014. And I remember watching Jacksepticeye play it, and it scared the shit out of me. The tension was so good. That big, massive jump scare that happens when you turn around is really, really good. There's not really much of a story to it. It's just an endless looping hallway, and if you do it enough times and do a certain type of thing with different patterns, you'll be able to finish it, and it gives you the reveal trailer to the game. It was supposed to star Norman Reedus, and it was made by Kojima. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and good old Mr. Del Toro over here. And I'm like, we could have had everything. We didn't. It was so good.
And wasn't it that Guillermo del Toro has been wanting to make a video game for so long, but something kept happening? And I remember I saw his name and I got so excited because he directed my favorite movie, Pan's Labyrinth.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, hell yeah. And then it got canceled and I was like, I'm going to go.
Oh, hell no. That's basically what happened. You're like, pretty much. Shit. But yeah, now basically, there was a patch where if you had it on your PlayStation 4 and you downloaded it, it would uninstall the game from your PlayStation.
No.
But some people are still lucky enough to still have PT on their PlayStation, and some people have even sold their PlayStations on eBay for thousands of dollars solely because it still has PT on it and you can still play it.
God damn.
I wonder if I can actually go on eBay right now and find that, because now I'm curious. I really want to see if somebody still has PT on their PlayStation. And I literally only say this because just last year I watched this YouTube channel called Outside Extra, and one of the people on there, her name is Ellen. They had her go through a Scare Academy thing, and one of the other people on there, I think his name is John. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. But he still has PT on his PlayStation, and he let her play it for the Scare Academy. And I was really happy that I was able to see it in the year of 2021 be played by somebody who had never played it before, and it made me so happy. Let me see if I can... With PT, let me see if I can...
See how much it is? How people are selling it?
Oh man, yes. The first one on here, $1,300 because it's got PT. The second one's $807. God damn. Holy shit. But yeah, people really went nuts for this game. We all got so sad and angry when it got canceled. I don't remember why it got canceled, but it got canceled, and now we're not going to be able to play. Silent Hill fandom is struggling right now. But yeah, that's my number one. I had to put it on there. I think it was kind of obvious because it's one of the scariest games I think I've seen that didn't have much of a story to it because it was the bare minimum. It's so good. I'm so sad it got canceled, but I'm glad we got what we got. But yeah, that's my number one.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't have another one, so you can go on and say your last two.
Oh, okay.
My number 2 is, this one was also kind of hard for me to choose between this one and my number 1, but my number 2 is again another series, American McGee's Alice.
Mm-hmm.
So for many, many years, Alice in Wonderland was my favorite book of all time. That's now taken by 100 Years of Solitude. But yeah, so it's a horror game about Alice from Wonderland. And so basically another one where she's the sole survivor of her house burned down. So her whole family died except for her and her cat. So she's kind of going through this survivor's guilt. And she's processing all of this by going back to Wonderland. She finds it in a state of disarray. And, she's just going through the different areas of Wonderland and kind of helping the people there so she can make Wonderland better again. Again, no spoilers that I shall reveal. I kind of hate that the second one kind of retconned the story from the first one. I still think the first one is better story-wise than the second one. The graphics in the new one are way cool and really pretty. But I think that the first one has since it's older, it has really blocky and models and things like that, and I think it just adds to the creepy atmosphere. And I love the voice acting, especially of the Cheshire Cat and Alice. They're really good. It's really, really creepy. Not that you'll have nightmares about it, but probably you'll just be uncomfortable looking at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really good. You can't go wrong with an Alice in Wonderland horror retelling,
Yeah. I think that's why I like the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland more than the original, is because it's creepier. It's got a darker turn. Also, the original Alice in Wonderland movie in general is a drug trip, I feel like, without the drugs.
Oh man.
I really want to see someone smoke weed and actually watch that movie, or eat an edible, something. I want to see somebody do that.
Remember how in the last episode I recorded I said sponsored by shiitake mushrooms?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you actually done that?
Oh yeah. Oh no, I haven't watched Alice in Wonderland that. By the way, I low key, I mean not low key, but straight up, I like the original actually better than Tim Burton's version.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's more fun. I find it.
But that's the opposite for me. I thought the Tim Burton one was more fun to me.
Yeah,
but
to each their own.
Yeah, that's also because I really like Johnny Depp. I love Johnny Depp. I also love the Cheshire Cat in the remake. He's really cool. I love his design. He's very fluffy. I want to pet him. Also, Anne Hathaway is a great White Queen. She's really cool.
She's the only one I liked in the Tim Burton movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, my mom doesn't like the Tim Burton one either that much, if at all. She doesn't like it. I'm like, it's okay. It's fine. We all have our own opinions. It's no big deal.
Yeah. What was I saying?
Shiitake mushrooms.
I took too many magic mushrooms from my shiitake mushrooms. It was so bad.
This is a theoretical for legal reasons. This is theoretical.
Theoretically, I took too many. Oh my god, dude! I thought I was gonna die. I literally couldn't breathe on my own. I had Eddie, my boyfriend, turn the AC on and face it towards me because I felt like I couldn't breathe on my own. I had to have air flow through me. I felt like a cave. I literally, dude, I was like, dude, I'm a cave right now. I can't breathe. I need you to put the air towards me. Anyway, so I'm gonna theoretically, I'm gonna not take those anymore for the foreseeable future.
That's fair.
Until I recover from that trauma.
When did this theoretically happen?
Like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Jesus.
It was this chocolate. It was take 7 pieces if you want to go to the moon. I was like, ooh, I've always wanted to space travel. And then,
oh my god!
I regretted it.
I wonder why.
I was
That's why you can't breathe. You thought you were in space. Oh my god.
Yeah, I kept telling my friends, I was like, I don't want to be in space anymore. I want to come back down to Earth.
All right. What's your number one before we...
You don't have another one?
I already read my number one. It was PT.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right. So my actual number one is Ebe. All right.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I know you mentioned Crooked Man, right? So there was like one of those RPG games that came out around the same time.
Yeah.
So it's about a young girl who visits a museum with her parents. And then she goes upstairs and she sees this painting. The name isn't revealed to the end. I don't know if it's a spoiler to say it or not.
Oh,
But
it's probably a spoiler.
yeah, so I won't say it. So she sees this painting, and then all of a sudden, like the lights go off, and like she gets this message to come down. So she goes downstairs. She finds that everyone is missing. Her parents are gone. She's the only one in the museum, and she's able to step through this painting and like go into the works of the artist Cortana. So yeah, like what I love about it is I feel like it's super creative, like especially because it's supposed to be like this artist's interpretation, and it's like his work coming to life. I'm not gonna give any spoilers about like the plot. I had a huge crush on Gary when I was a kid playing this game. Yes. Because he's like a sweet guy. And apparently, like, I mean, I don't read Japanese, so I didn't play the Japanese version, but he speaks how women speak in Japanese. Like, he's very effeminate.
Aw.
And, you know, I guess that's just like my Koreanness coming through. I love effeminate men, and things like that. I love the music. The music is so nice. I feel like it does have some jump scares here and there, but like it doesn't rely on them so heavily to create like that creepy atmosphere.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love that game. I've played it multiple times. Because I have this weird thing where like I don't like getting the bad endings. Like if I have to get the bad ending, I have to play it again and get the good ending and save it over the bad ending slot because then I
Like,
feel
where
bad.
did I fuck up? What did I do?
Yeah. No, because like I was able to get the good ending. But I wanted to unlock all the paintings and endings in the gallery, like in the home screen. So like every time I'd get a bad ending, I'd have to replay it and get the good ending because then I just felt like this guilt. They did remake the game and re-released it, and I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Yeah, like they like updated the art, I guess, like for
Aw,
the sprites
no.
and stuff. And so like in the original it's like really sketchy, like the characters kind of have like a dead eyes look to them because they don't have like a shine on them or anything.
Yeah.
And then they like redrew them and like they look way less creepy now, and I'm just like, bro, it's a horror game. What are you doing?
Why are you making it look cutesy? What the fuck?
Yeah. And then
It's probably not that cutesy, but I mean, you know.
they made some of the levels easier, and like it just felt a lot less creepy in general because they were adding like a whole bunch, like they were adding new things that were like a lot more silly. And like it's cool that they wanted to add more things. They did that originally with the first game. They added like an extra level, and with like new puzzles and new art, and like that was really cool. I wish they did that instead of like taking things out and putting new things in. But yeah, I mean that's always going to be the thing with when you recreate stuff. Like the original fans are going to be upset. But yeah, I hate that I kind of sound like a purist. Like, no, you should have left it alone. But
but like sometimes
how
it
we
happens.
feel. That's how we feel with the Scary Stories from Tell in the Dark stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because they
like the re-release of the books and they have like the new
actually
and stuff like that.
I haven't seen
the art is whack as hell.
Yeah, it is.
I haven't seen any of it.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, okay, we can talk about that later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. Actually, I want to look it up. I want to look it up.
You can look it up. It's fine, but you can look it up after this.
Oh, okay. Fine.
Alright, so that was my number one.
Sweet. Yeah.
Amazing.
I do want to touch about something for Among the Sleep as well. I think I like Among the Sleep as well because it's Unfortunately for me, it's relatable a little bit. Like the ending makes it relatable. Just no, I'm not going to say anything. It makes it relatable to me because that's going to be accidentally spoiling something. But play all the games that we've talked about, except for that one that you said was banned in basically everywhere except for Japan.
Well, maybe even there.
I've done a playthrough of it.
Yeah, you know what?
Surprised.
Again, I was a child watching this walkthrough. You know what the name of the account was? It was called Boner's Game.
Amazing.
Classic
And
YouTube.
I was over here, child, like, what an odd name.
What's that mean? Like,
yeah, I had no business watching that as a child, but our parents didn't know about the dangers of the internet.
Like, yeah, of course they didn't.
Of course, YouTube was also a lot less restricted back then.
I do have an honorable mention.
Too restricted shit.
What is it?
I know I gave 6 games already, but my honorable mention is The Cat Lady.
Have
you all heard of it? Oh no, yeah. So it's about this girl, this woman who's pretty depressed. In the beginning of the game, like she unalived herself, basically. But death is giving her a second chance. And also, in addition to giving her that second chance, she now has to like help other people who are struggling, and get rid of like what they call parasites, people who take advantage of vulnerable people and things like that. It's really cool. It's really sick.
Cool concept. I like that.
Yeah, the art is amazing too. So
yeah, I do have a couple more honorable mentions that I want to briefly brush over. I mentioned Frambo. That's a really good game. It kind of gets a little bit trippy towards the end that I'm not too big of a fan of, but ultimately it's a really good game. I really like it a lot. Little Misfortune is also a really good game made by the same creators of Frambo.
I just watched the walkthrough for that. So good. I love it.
The ending made me cry.
It's funny. It's funny. I love Little Misfortune.
It's a funny game. It's also definitely got some really dark humor stuff that a little girl shouldn't have to go through. She goes through. Really good games. Like them both a lot.
I'm just a little lady.
I'm just a little lady. That's what I am. She's so cute.
By the way, I want to say I love Manly Badass Heroes walkthrough for Little Misfortune.
Really? I watched Jacksepticeye play both Frambo and Little Misfortune. I watched a lot of people play Frambo because it was a really fucked up game at the time when it first came out. It's still fucked up, but like it's not as shocking as it used to be. It's a really good game, trippy as hell. It's definitely a good game.
I rank Misfortune above Frambo.
I have to agree. I like it a little bit more than Frambo. I like both a lot, but I like it a little bit more than Frambo. Phasmophobia is a good one that I mentioned earlier. I've got it, but I've never played it because my computer can't handle it. Let me see if there's anything else I can really think of as an honorable mention, because I like talking about horror games a lot. Outlast is an obvious one. Not my favorite, obviously. I do have to mention it because it is a lot of people's favorites. Terrifying. I didn't last an hour. I tapped out like 50 minutes in, something like that.
That's a long time.
I was struggling. It hurt. I was like, I want to get out of here. I feel like we're gonna have a heart attack. That was with me in one section of Resident Evil Village in the Beneviento house. I have a thing for dolls, is the thing. And there's that, and also like, I guess it's not really a spoiler. It's a thing that happens in the Beneviento house and Village. They take your weapons away, so that's not fun for me. Like, no, the only thing keeping me safe, it's gone. I don't want it, please. But yeah, I think that's all the games I can think of. How about you?
No, nothing.
Oh.
Okay.
Right. I have one more.
You got nothing? It's okay. Well, that's gonna be it for us today.
Oh, no.
Oh, what? Go ahead.
I have one more.
Oh, you have one more? Go ahead, get the one more.
Another escape game that like I think about all the time is the Scarlet Room.
Ooh.
So there's two. There's part 1 and a part 2. The part 2 connects back to part 1, and again, I played this when I was a child, and I still think about it like every now and then. It's the end. The twist was what fucked me up. I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah. Oh, I guess.
But again,
it's
just because.
go ahead,
just
so
because
sorry.
like. Again, escape rooms like just kind of have like this eerie sense like from the beginning, like why do I need to escape? Like how did I get here? Who put me here?
Yeah. I
Mhm.
want to do an escape room one day.
I don't.
They're so fun. They're so fun.
But,
I've done like 4 now.
Oh shit,
Nice.
dude, that's nice. I guess one more that I do have to briefly mention, because I actually never got to see the ending of this because the person who was playing it gave up because they got stuck on a puzzle. I'm not going to mention the person because they were outed as a not good person.
Or more.
I don't know. Yeah. But it's called Decay. It was on the Xbox 360, I believe. I think it was like, it came in 3 chapters, I think, and each chapter was like $5 to $10. I can't remember. I don't really remember the premise. I just really remember really liking the story and really being bummed out that this person didn't continue it. But it doesn't matter because I don't watch them anymore for obvious reasons. I'll tell you who it is after we're done recording. I don't want to talk about them on here so you guys don't seek them out. Bleh. But it's whatever. But yeah, is that it for everyone?
Yeah, I'm done now.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for us today.
So join us next week as we talk about scary stories to tell in the dark.
Yeah, the book.
Specifically the book.
Specifically the book. The movie's going to be for a different day.
Yeah.
Don't forget to rate us and tap that bell icon on Spotify so you don't miss an episode. We are also now on Google Podcasts and iTunes. You can leave us a review on iTunes. Tell us how we did. If you want to follow the Guarded by Demons socials, we're on Twitter at Guarded Demons. We're also on Anchor, YouTube, and Instagram at Guarded by Demons. We also have an email, guardeddemonpod@gmail.com. It's not like I haven't read this script a million times. If you want to write in and suggest some topics, movies, or games we could play on the podcast, or just tell us how we did there. If you don't have iTunes, be nice about it. I look over the email. If you're not nice, I will cry.
To specify for iTunes, you got to give us like a 5-star rating, otherwise we won't read it.
Sorry, guys. That's how the cookie rolls. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Isn't that how the cookie crumbles?
Yep.
You know what I mean. I'm dumb, okay?
You dork.
Yeah, but I'm your dork. What are you gonna do about it?
I can't do anything about it. I'm already here.
I mean, that's fair. Don't leave me. We're 3 minutes away from the airport. Don't leave me.
You're like, I have the money to fucking leave yet.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Oh, dang. Yeah.
No, Asia, you want to be the next host?
Yeah, sure. I got this sexy, sultry voice now, so I can totally.
They can take over.
Anything you want to plug, Asia?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I accidentally let slip in front of my kids about this podcast.
Oh,
and
you
they
did?
told me, yeah, and they were like, "Oh, Miss, we're gonna go try and find it." And I was like, "Oh no!" They're like, "Come on, Miss, tell us his name." I'm like, "No." So if you happen to be my student, and you happen to find this podcast, you better have all your work turned in before you talk to me about this, because you better not have wasted your whole time listening to this instead of doing your homework. All right.
Oh my god.
Also, if you heard a swear, no, you didn't.
Yeah, I was just like, oh god, I'm not gonna tell you because, like, you know, in the previous episode, I was talking about how I had sex with a succubus. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Uh-oh. Now I really hope they don't fight it.
Yeah.
Well, that episode is not premiering yet, so
That's fair.
that episode's not premiering yet.
That's fair. Still, though, that'll be awkward for them if they have to fight it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they find it past November, yeah.
Yeah. How did you let it slip, Asia?
I'm sorry.
How did you let it slip?
Oh, because it was during lunch. I had some students come inside to work on this poster, and I was talking to one of the aides for one of my students, and we were just talking, and like I just like mentioned it, and then I thought they had their little headphones in, but they're like, "You're in a podcast?" And I'm not gonna say my whole name, but like, "They're in a podcast?" And I was just like, "No."
Totally not. No.
Yeah.
Shut
Oh,
up,
it's
you heard
because they
nothing.
saw me. They saw me because I took my scary stories to tell in the book, in the dark books to my classroom, and I was taking them to read over the weekend, and then that's why I mentioned it. But
shit.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, like, you didn't hear anything.
you guys heard nothing. Don't harass your teacher about this.
Gaslight your kid.
Yes, gaslit them. You didn't hear me on this podcast.
What the hell are you talking about? I'm
That's not me. What,
I
miss,
don't
we
like
hear
horror.
your
I hate
voice every
horror.
day. I'm pretty sure it's you.
Oh my god.
Are they teenagers or like kids?
They're 7th graders, so they're like tweens.
Oh, okay.
12, 13.
That makes a lot more sense.
That's funny. That's funny. They're never gonna find this podcast.
Oh, hopefully.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Oopsie. It's fine. It's whatever.
We're not that popular.
It's okay. We'll get there eventually. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah, y'all are not allowed to get popular until after my kids graduate.
Oh, okay. Shit, I guess we gotta stop for a little bit now. Anyway.
Oh my god. All right. Well, well, once again, I'm Kimberly, and if you want to follow me on any of my personal accounts, I am the Lesbian Spook on Twitter, and I am Spooky Scary Lesbian on Tumblr and Twitch. I write stupid fanfiction on Tumblr, and I share a lot of dumb shit on Twitter, which I am also just really fucking stupid on there. Like, no, like seriously, everything I reblog is so dumb. But I usually reblog a lot of horror stuff too. A lot of the stuff I follow is horror, so I will be like retweeting a lot of updated for movies, especially like live tweeting some of the stuff I'll be seeing throughout the month. So if you want to be caught up on that, there's that. I also have an ASMR YouTube channel, which is just Spooky Scary ASMR. And we also have a YouTube channel for the podcast. And if you like any of our stuff, you know, you can comment on any of the videos and suggest us some like movies, topics, or whatever that you guys want to hear what we have to say about. I know we still have like that request for Creep, but Creep is gonna be until like next year.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Orsa, if you're listening to this still.
Yeah.
For leaving that nice comment.
It was very nice.
It's very nice.
Also want to thank like a lot of the people that have been following us recently on our socials. Like, damn. Thanks.
Dude, so fucking writer-producer of Tales from the Crypt follow us on fucking Twitter.
Yeah.
I lost my mind. Holy shit.
A lot of people in like the horror community are starting to follow us, and I'm just like, okay, this is great. This is not like anxiety inducing at all.
Shout out to Halloweenies who have backed us up from the beginning.
Oh yeah, definitely.
God. Yeah. And I'm Lexi. If you want to follow me on Twitch, it's at SemiProEagle. I play a variety of games there. I've been replaying Slime Rancher because I can't play Slime Rancher 2 because I don't have the next gen, but it's fine. I also draw from time to time. This week, I'll probably, well, by the time this comes out, I will already have been home and I've probably already done this. I'm going to be doing a cooking stream sometime soon because I got a brand new phone and it's got a very nice camera. The front camera is not scratched up like my last one, so it won't be blurry. It's not.
This is already going to come out like this coming Saturday.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, you missed it. But I also have a Twitter at SemiProEagle. I don't tweet a whole lot except to yell at NFT accounts that hack into my shit. But that's it. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Stay spooky.